trees. And that tells me something. Because that means that means that he has put himself lower than the people in the temple. That means that he feels like he's not good enough. Because what he was seeing, right, what was the mental picture he had been given of what men look like. This guy is on the ground every day begging, looking up at men putting their hands over like branches. Now this is a blind man, brother. Y'all follow me? This is a blind man who is on the ground every day, kneel down, and people are reaching their hands out and pouring money into his bucket. And so here's a blind man saying, yes, I see men like trees, because he thought for the rest of his days he'd be on the ground begging and men would be like this. The only time a man looks like a tree is when they're standing over you giving you free stuff.
Amen. Amen.
But anyway, at the end of the day, Jesus said, okay, well now you're seeing with your mind. And I need you now to remove the influence of the town. Although he wanted to see, he could only see the thing that was influencing the town. And in his town, the people who were in control of the temple, they had their thumbs down on the people, and the people could not progress. And so what he saw was the influence. His spirit was seeing before his physical eyes could see. He said, yeah, I see men like trees. There was nobody else around.
Wow.
So Jesus took him, remember now, Jesus said, we got to go out here before there was nobody around. So how do you see men like trees? There's nobody around. What you're seeing is the influence of your town. As much as he left the town, the spirit that was on the town was still inside of him. And the second touch from Jesus was not the physical touch, because he made clay, he put it on his eyes, and now he's seeing with the spirit. The second touch from Jesus was the removal of the spirit that was on him, or the influence from his town that was on him. So now he could see clearly. And until we understand, church, that regardless of your next event and the next good thing that you do, until we peel back these onions now, until we start to see the spirit that is influencing the very people you want to do well now, yeah, you're going to bless them tomorrow, but 3 days from now, they're going to be in trouble again. Because it's the spirit. And that spiritual influence is greater than your intentions. And so, I don't know what happened to Timothy, but he got to a point in his life now where he did not feel like going on. And not only was Timothy dealing with his own internal influences, but now he had to deal with the influences of the people around him. Listen, some of you in this room will be in leadership at some point in your life and in your ministry. And when you get around people now, you have to sit there and sometimes speak in tongues in your mind so that you don't become influenced by the spirit that is over somebody. If you listen to people and allow your emotions to open up for every little thing you hear, you will become depressed, you'll become angry, you become confused, and you'll want to go away. The young Timothy wanted to help everybody, but the old Timothy wanted to get out of there and not talk to anybody. The young Timothy now, he wanted to give everything he had to the ministry and to the work, but the more he got around people, he realized they were fake, he realized they were hypocrites, and now Paul had to write him a letter and say, listen, you can't fear, you have to love these people. The word for love meant agape. Yes, the ones that you're tired of being around, you have to love them. Like Jesus said to Peter, I know you're sick of me, I know you can't wait for me to go back to heaven, but do you love me? And Peter said, yes, I love you. And Jesus said, well, if you love me like agape kind of love, then you have got to feed my sheep. This is no different. Timothy wanted nothing to do with church. And Paul said, look, remember your mother Eunice, remember her faith, remember your grandmother, remember that faith. And I need you to stir up now that faith you had when you came to the Lord. When you decided to become a musician and play music for the Lord, when you become depressed because you go places and people don't want to pay you, let me preach to y'all. And people want to take your gift for granted, and they don't want to recognize that there are churches that people are jumping up and down because of you, and not because their voices are singing on the right key. And when they take advantage of your gift, I need you to show agape, because God didn't give you a spirit of fear, He gave you a spirit of love and a sound mind. And I need you, church, when you become discouraged, even when you're dealing with your own internal demons, your mind. I need you to still show love to other people when things are going right in your order. Like you are going to be under the influence.
Yes, yes.
Which influence you're under is up to you. Every child at some point looks a little bit like their father. And so, how do I know what influence you are under? Watch this. Because the enemy, the way he became the enemy, was he was in a position where his hands were doing great work, Brother Jarvis, and he thought it was by his power. And so the story is told in the Bible that Satan thought that he could overthrow God. He thought now that if he get in the right place and got the right people behind him, that he could take over heaven and throw God out. Well, before he could get the plans underway, God kicked him out of heaven. And yes, he is in our heavens, dwelling in the earth, influencing the earth. But watch what happened to him. He was second in charge. He thought that if the power was in his hands, and what he did was he became lifted up in pride, and he got kicked out of heaven. And so what happens now, I can tell what kind of influence people are under because they follow the pattern of their children. They follow the same pattern. Here's what they do. They preach one good message, brother. They sing one good song, and their pride gets so high, they can't sing in the tenor section no more. They got to take the lead, and they got to shake their hips, and they got to be the ones in charge, larger in charge, because they sang one good little song. They get so high, lifted up in pride, they can't get along with anybody anymore. They feel like they should be the lead singer. They feel like they should be the one preaching. Pastor ain't preaching like they used to. We need somebody younger. We need somebody need to step up there and preach a relevant message. You know what's happening to you? You are a child of Satan. You are being lifted up in pride because of self. You messed around, the Lord used you one good time, and you thought the power was in your hands. But the whole time the power was in his spirit. Zerubbabel, get over here. You laid your foundation. You did a little bit of work. And the reason you messed up right now is because you thought the power was in your hands. But I fully intend to use you. Y'all want some good news? Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, you got lifted up in pride. But God still has a purpose for your life. Yes, you acted like a child of Satan. You acted out of God's accord in pride in a way you should not have acted. But God fully intends to restore you and use you to finish the work that He started in you. Still has a purpose. Stand up where you are and give God thank you for your purpose. Come on, now you know you got purpose. Come on, now the enemy, he tried to get you down and to make you fall the way he fell. But then God met you and said, come here, Zerubbabel. I'm going to finish this work. I'm going to do the will that I have for your life. I'm going to work this thing out. In fact, when you get back up, you're going to be better than you were the last time you felt like anointing. You're going to be better than you were the last time I used you. You're going to be better, Zerubbabel.
Come on, you waiting on me to say it. You got to say it. Say it.
He's leading
In my direction.
in my direction.
Cause this is my season.